Welcome. This is an
Hi.
episode of Spirited Conversations with the fabulous Sal Jade. And if you haven't met Sal Jade before, you've probably been living under a tarot rock. She's a best-selling psychic healing instructor who loves to help nervous beginners tap into their psychic gifts and build thriving careers as psychics and healers. And she's passionate about the potential of tarot to heal and change lives. And if there's something I want to be interested in right now in this current time, it's the use of tarot to heal and change our lives. But I have known Sal for some time. I actually ran across her in a Udemy course about 6 years ago when there were absolutely no psychic courses around back then. And I stumbled across Sal and kind of stalked her for a while. And then I met her. So I feel like I'm talking to someone rather famous right now. And Sal's incredibly laid back. She lives in a gorgeous part of the sunny coast of Queensland, and she would happily spend her life living in a sarong and creating psychic courses for everyone and gabbing about the magic and the mystery of the spirit realm. So thanks so much for joining us, Sal.
It is a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me, Denise. And
Yeah.
I've stalked Denise a lot over the years as well. It's like mutual stalking.
Mutual stalk. And I know that because you're in the sunny coast, it's quite tropical up there. If you're waving your arms around and slapping, it's not spirits, it's actually mozzies, isn't it?
And midgies.
And midgies, right. Just so you know. So, we had a chat beforehand, about when we had all this planned out weeks ago, but it just seems like we want to talk about what's going on right now and how you can use tarot as an empowerment tool right now. So I know you've got a ton of things you want to share, so I'll just let you go for it.
Yeah, look, thank you so much, Denise. This has been obviously an extraordinary time for humanity, and in some ways I can almost see it with the tarot as being just almost indicative of how we are in desperately needing certainty, and sometimes like on the polarities as humans that we have. Like sometimes, like we're in an experience right now where we have governments that we feel like aren't doing enough, but then we have human beings that are doing way too much and over catastrophizing everything. And because of that, that's leading to a kind of group, almost even more intensity in the physical body and in our spiritual journeys and in what we're supposed to be doing right now. And look, let's be honest, like that we've been living a bit of a smaller version like that for many years. Like we really have. We were all, many of us, exhausted and overwhelmed and constantly trying to make 17 decisions at once. And often people come to see tarot readers, and I know my own students, when they take tarot, when they're learning how to ask questions of it, is like wanting to know those most important questions now, and using the tarot as that kind of fortune telling tool.
Yes.
And asking questions like
will I, won't I?
Well, when will I get married, and what does he think of me, and those kind of questions. And something for me right now, there'd be a lot of people wanting to turn to intuition and psychic tools and divination tools to answer these really big questions. And the first thing I'd say is it's much more powerful to use the tarot as an empowerment tool where you can take action or see what your blind spots are and see what you're missing, rather than, okay, is this going to turn out all okay tomorrow or on the 15th of April? Will this all be?
Well, yeah, and fear-based questions like, will I, won't I, should I, is this going to happen? They all come from this feeling of not power, fear, which isn't power.
Yeah, absolutely. And the tarot just has I always talk about it as being epically timeless, like kind of Shakespeare with the themes that, human, no matter what's going on in humanity, these themes are always there.
Always.
And if you can tap into the answers through thinking of it like that, rather than that more carnival kind of thing, like the trickery, the lotto questions and that sort of stuff. If you can do that, you're really going to have a companion for life.
So what sort of questions do you think people might, would you suggest they ask rather than the will I, won't I, should I, especially around for these times? What kind of questions?
So the best kind of questions right now are things like, okay, what do I need to know about my job? Okay, because most people right now, a huge percentage of people are going to be anxious that their industries are going to be getting shut down. And, you know, our government going to help? Are they going to, how long are they going to stay closed for? And so instead of asking, you know, when will my shop reopen, or when will my cafe that I work in reopen, or, you know, saying, okay, what do I need to know about my job? And getting information. Keep it open, because, and this is something that I teach my students a lot in Tarot Card Success. I say to them, if you're just giving the universe a yes/no thing, like will my job open again, you know, by April, then you're giving it nothing to work with. And the thing is, our journeys in life, like whether it be in relationships, finance, money, health, they are always a roller coaster. They're never just a black and white thing. Like, and we often have to go on some kind of journey to get to the other side.
And that's the journey that tarot will show us.
Yeah. So we can use that example. Say, for example, right now you are worried that your business that you work for is going to close and you're going to be out of work or retrenched for some time. Now, you can either say, will my business close? Yes, no. And it might say yes. And then you go, and you've got nothing to go. I mean, you're depressed, you're unhappy, and then what? Yeah, absolutely. But if you say, what do I need to know about my job or my career or this business that I work for closing, and the cards themselves reveal, okay, maybe there's going to be a rough spot, but then there'll be some relief. Maybe you'll open again for a little while, and then
tell a story. Which is what tarots are meant to do.
Yeah, you weave that beautiful tapestry with the cards. And so, yes, you might get some grief and disappointment and loss, but then something new comes in, like a fantastic opportunity that maybe takes you even maybe you start an online business, or maybe I know the very wonderful Aisha Kennedy. I don't know if you saw this. I love her. I've done a retreat with her in Bali, on Blossom Retreat, which is amazing. And she has, she works in Mullumbimby. She's got a really, great following of people that come and do her gorgeous yin yoga, and she's just taken her classes online because she can't have them right now. And so, coming up with, now if she had to do a question like, sorry Aisha, if you're watching, and I've just hijacked your whole experience, but it really inspired me. If she did a question like, will my studio shut down? That could very much say, well, yes, it will. But saying, what do I need to know?
Fear and maybe take the wrong actions.
Yeah, absolutely. But you get something, you get something to work with when you're willing to use the tarot to show you opportunities and to show you where you're going wrong.
So that would be the fundamental difference between using tarot as an empowerment tool versus fortune telling.
Yes, absolutely. You're doing it as something that's going to give you something. It's going to give you, we talk about this a lot, you and I, the free will.
Yes.
It gives you free will. And I really implore you right now, if you are going to see psychics because you want them to decide what your destiny is right now, please step back from that right now. You are a magical, intuitive, amazing being. And, you can use tools yourself or use your intuition yourself to make those decisions. Totally.
Because, as psychics, none of us saw this coming.
No, no. I mean, this is it. That's a great question.
What kind of psychic?
I've been getting intuitive nudges. I went to the Plaza, which is the mall here, to get stuff, and when I left, this is probably 3 weeks ago, when my test just came back positive, and I was running out the door, let me out of the house. Sorry, negative, came out negative.
Negative.
Yeah, I had a coronavirus test because I was unwell, and it came back negative. I ran outside the house very excited, and I went to Sunshine Plaza, and I left, and the voice came in you're not going back there for a long time. Quite a while.
Yeah.
This is I usually go there every month, and it was just that's good that you went, because that's not, and I was like,
yep.
Okay. And I was calm because it came from, it wasn't an
gentle nudge, that little nudge that intuition is. It's the little subtle pull.
Yeah. It was
look, that's the same for me. I was looking at, it was time to renew my frequent flyer club. And I was looking at it, and this is about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And for some reason I was procrastinating and I couldn't do it. And I was umming and ahhing and put it off. And then all this happened, and it was like my intuition would have said, if we got that, oh my God, there's going to be a worldwide pandemic, we would have freaked out. But no, it's that little nudge that says, no, just leave that for a minute.
Yeah.
See it, isn't it?
And that's, I think, I mean, I love this, that we're having this conversation, because I think that's the essence of how it's good to look at tarot and any psychic reading.
Yes. The power still stays with us.
Exactly. Because if we knew in it, look, I know firsthand, if I always laugh about this in some of my courses with my students, if I knew firsthand about some of the relationships I was going to have in my life,
oh my God,
I'd gone back and seen my first psychic when I was 19 years old, like there's a good chance that I might have just sworn off men forever.
That's right.
Like there's a really, we need to go through certain things, and,
and that's it. And that's why we don't get it all mapped out for us, even in a reading.
Yeah. And so while I understand a lot of people right now will be really anxious about a lot of things, and can I just say something that I've noticed, because I myself did this. I was talking to Denise earlier, like when I first thought I might be sick recently, when I got back from Bali, I had to go to a friend's wedding, and it was a big, oh my goodness, and I was freaked out, and I was, like, should I go, cancellation money, a lot of people making decisions right now around travel plans, coming up to the school holidays, coming up with what we're doing with my kids, are we, in or out of school. And it, like, the thing is, what I learned from that is experience, and how I kind of got parented by my guides and my cards. They parented me the way we parent our children
ourselves. Yes,
was like, they just said, look, you don't need to make this decision right now. I know it feels like it's the end of the world if you don't, but you need to get healthy and well and protect your beautiful respiratory system. And
so would that be the Two of Swords? I mean, what?
Yes, perfect. The mental conflict where you are being pushed to make big decisions straight away, and you feel like the world won't end if you don't make it right now. And that mental conflict is actually making it harder for you to hear your intuition.
And if you could summarize the current pandemic, what in the tarot cards?
The Tower.
That's what I was thinking. The Tower. Yeah.
Look, it's the Tower. For those of you who don't know the tarot so well, the Tower is that moment where the whole building collapses. The foundations all collapse because you've got weak foundations in the first place. And so and again, without going too much into the negative, one of our weak foundations that I'm sure we all can agree on, whatever political system you are in or whatever, is that our health system has not been nurtured the way it should be. And I don't know about you, but I nearly wept the other day when the New South Wales Premier said, we will give you anything you need, health. We will give, and part of me wept in gratitude, and then part of me went, I wish we'd been doing this all along.
But
that's okay. They're doing it now.
Right? The foundations are going in.
The foundations of our health systems have been weak. We haven't nurtured and supported them, and as a result, now we get pressure, the building, if you think of it like a building, it hasn't been engineered and structurally built with the right belief systems and the right attitudes. And so it's kind of collapsing a little bit around us. So we're in a tower moment. But the empowering thing about the tower is when we go, okay, well, we look at our systems and go, how can we do that differently next time?
Exactly.
So, instead of apocalypse stuff and that. So that apocalypse stuff is usually, that for me, the Nine of Swords.
Yes.
And often the moon, those really unconscious fears that we're all, I was saying recently to my group, I was saying, look, the number 2 thing that's trending right now on iTunes, and it's almost a little bit amusing, is Contagion. And so people are watching this and getting them even more, which is like about a virus that's like a plague. That's wipes out 2/3 of the human population. That
is like the devil card, where you're addicted to doom and gloom. There's an addiction there that's not serving you.
No, not at all. And I can, for me, I look, as soon as I see that people are watching Contagion, I go, please don't watch that movie. You're going to scare yourself. No. Like, this is not 2/3 of the human population. This is serious, and we need to be concerned, but it's not wiping out the whole
world.
There's not going to be 4 people and a dog left on the planet.
Well, thank goodness for that, because the good time about this now is that we can catch up on courses, and you've led the way with online courses forever. So this is the perfect time to catch up on a tarot course with Sal Jade. I'm pointing the wrong way.
Pointing where am I?
Where are you? You're there. And Yeah, because what better time to hone our skills and practice?
Yeah.
Actually, what I've been doing in my downtime is going through my tarot
Yeah.
and revisiting and really taking time to examine each card. And I know that's what you're really good at. So I'm
Yeah.
going to include some links
Yeah.
below in how you can find out all about your courses, because they're really super affordable too, aren't they?
Yeah, like I do offer, like, the beginning comprehensive level is real, like it's like $13.99 US or something if
Mm.
you get it in a certain, like if you can get it through my link on my Facebook page, and
There's
like the
ways to,
website.
yes.
Yeah.
And you're going to
It,
include that link, aren't you? I know we are.
yes,
Mm.
yeah. And yeah, look, it's, like for me, it's like, if you, and I often get asked this question, do I need to study a course? And I feel like studying a course is good because you get contact with the teacher, but also,
Yes.
as opposed to reading a book, but also it kind of, we all learn, differently, visually, and, through our ears. And so it gives you that full experience of
And
it.
the accountability too, to know that you're in a group and you can ask questions, and then it keeps you turning up too, because the thing about online courses is like, yeah, I'll do that one day, and then,
Yeah.
it's the only way to do tarot or any reading as far as I'm concerned, right? I know we see eye to eye on that. And you've got something coming up really shortly. You've got an online class, perfect, right, for social distancing. Online class.
Yeah.
Discover the 5 essential keys to read tarot intuitively. Tell us all about
So this is a free tarot training that I'm offering, where I go through, like, so even if you don't know anything about tarot, or if you've tried studying tarot before and you find it all a bit overwhelming and confusing, because
which
there's
it
so many
can
different
be.
cards, and also just little ways that you can quickly get a hand on what the reading's saying, if you're not someone who's good at memory, like memorizing the cards. So just intuitively tuning in a bit more.
I love
the
that.
cards.
That's the way I love to work, because you can look at something and as soon as you think, oh, what does the guidebook say? You've really
You've lost that connection. Yeah, absolutely. So I love to sort of teach on how you can do that in this. It's just like a 1 hour free presentation, like class, to help you do it and help you practice. You don't even need to have tarot cards to do it, because it's just it's very, that getting you in there in the beginning. But if you do, obviously that's great. But for those of you who really feel like, I've tried tarot, I find it confusing and overwhelming, but I'd like to get into it. I'm kind of fascinated and drawn to it, but I don't really know how to do this intuitively without reading lots of different, definitions. So it can really help you with that.
Oh, nice gentle start.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
And that's when April the 1st. So it's not a joke, right?
No. No, I laughed when I see that. And if you are in the US, that's actually the 31st. I've had a bit of confusion because I do have, that's the 31st of March.
Okay,
but if you're in Australia, that's the 1st of April.
Awesome. Well, I'll put the link for that below too, because I'm sure there'll be lots and lots of people that want to come to, and it's totally free, right? So why not? If we're sitting at home, we want to brush up on our tarot, let's do that. And just before we go, I'm going to ask you one more question. So thank you so much for being with us here on Spirited Conversation. Sal Jade, what is the spirited conversation you never get tired of talking about?
Probably, as humans, how we, I love using these tools that we're talking about for our soul journey and understanding basic, it's a combination of that metaphysical detective of trying to being able to talk to people about when they say what's going on for them, and being able to go, oh, I can see what's going on there, and that the excitement of putting the puzzles together. I love talking about how we can do that as humans, how our lives, how experiences and who we are is just so unique. I guess that's what I love, and how the kind of grand total of that turns us into who we are as an individual incarnated on this earth. And I know, and I love just, mapping it all out. And
tarot helps that.
Yes, absolutely, which is probably why. So I can talk for hours about, how...
we could talk for hours.
Yeah, but hours about how we do what we do and how we manifest and live out our lives, what we do. I love it. I get really excited by it.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for being with us, Sal. And I look forward. I hope you pack out this online class next week. And I know we'll be talking again soon. So thanks so much for being with us.
Pleasure. Absolutely.
Ciao.